I'm the leader of the Republican Party of Scotland, and David Cameron, you are a prize wanker. Now, David Cameron, we'll know what he's up to at the moment in London. He's trying to get the Houses of Parliament and everyone else to agree to his bombing campaign over Syria, even though he's already had aircraft in Syria. One drone, for example, had admitted this a few months back, blowing up to terrorists in Syrian airspace. It's obviously a blatant disregard for sovereign airspace over Syria. Without a buy or a leave, in he goes, apparently takes out two terrorists, so he claims, and zooms back out. He felt the need to tell us all this. I wonder why. Maybe it's because it wasn't terrorists he got in the first place. That remains open still for debate. At the moment, he's even went on to RT News, spoke to RT News and told them he actually believes that he will be perfectly legal to go into Syria, into sovereign Russian Syrian airspace, without anybody's permission. Not even Parliament. So Parliament says no, he'll probably do this anyway, against Parliament's decision. And he's not even going to ask the UN for a resolution. He says that he believes he doesn't have to. Who the hell do you think you are, David Cameron? Yeah, God. So anyway, he thinks he can do all this and he's going to be legal. Within international law, I posted earlier on tonight, it's going to be great to see look in this guy's face when Russia sticks a couple of anti-aircraft missiles up his arse, because that's exactly what will happen. He's not even going to ask these guys for permission, even though he was speaking to Mr. Putin through the week there, or the end of last week, and Mr. Putin said to him, as he said to America too, we have to cooperate more closely. And this clown had the cheek to agree with him. Just like Americans do, but they do the opposite as usual. They can never be trusted, these clowns. I don't know about Cameron, no, I don't think he can either, but anyway, that's besides the point. The point is, this muppet actually believes that he can do what hell he likes. Maybe he thinks he's Obama. Obama, at the moment, he even writes his own, he doesn't even go through past Congress these days in America, just in case a lot of you don't know this. He writes his own laws without going through Congress, which is against the American Constitution. And no cunt does anything. The last time he was at a NATO meeting, it was NATO, he actually took the chair. Obama took the chair at a NATO meeting. He is not the fucking chairperson. Obama, you're not a chairperson. You're a president, a figurehead, a face. That is all, a face. You're not even a fucking leader, okay, muppet. You're a face. The leaders are behind you, and you know it. You're not a chairperson, you don't sit in a chair. You have no rights to sit in any UN chair, or any NATO chair for that matter. It was a NATO chair you sat on, you have no rights to do so, because you're not the fucking chairperson, okay? Simple. Do your job, don't do other people's. Because I'm not going to thank you for it, believe me. They're just going to despise you for it. When this guy was elected anyway, Barack Obama, even before he was elected, I said that if he did get elected, which I knew he would, everybody knew he would, he couldn't not get elected at the time because of the situation. The voters were left in only states. they were penned into a little corner, so they had to vote for him. You know, common sense prevailing, that is, which it did, and they did. And that's what everybody in the system was counting on, because the system wanted Barack Obama as president. The people didn't. Like every election in the Western world, you tell me, you prove to me they're not rigged. That's the great thing about these elections. Doesn't matter what country, even last year's UK election was rigged to hell. It's a matter of proving it though. The election system built in such a way that they can never prove to us that it's not fixed. All they can do is tell us it's not fixed, and all the sheep believe them. That's not evidence. Or what people say coming out of their mouths, that's not fucking evidence, okay? Now, people like me, there is no way people like me can prove that it's not fixed either. It's a perfect system. And it was the Rothschilds that created this a long time ago. Trust these guys. Anything the Rothschilds create is usually practically invisible. Only so that you can't prove it one way or another. Perfect little planners, the Rothschilds are. That's all they are, planners. They're not the rulers of the world. No, no, no. They've been planning for a very long time. Strategic planners. That's what they are. And that's why they're so filthy rich. And own so many things. Because they own all these things, a lot of people in the world think, oh, these guys rule the world. No, they don't. They're only strategic planners, and they get paid very well for it. And their family is well looked after. Above the Rothschilds. Now that's getting to the nitty gritty. Now this lot above the Rothschilds. Now, to put them into perspective, okay? Adolf Hitler, the Holocaust, the gassing of the Jews, death camps, work camps, labour camps. Treblinka, the cleaning up of mass graves amongst some children had been lying there for weeks. Nah, that's World War II. Now we move on to ISIL. Right. Now ISIL make all that look like Disney fucking land. The things that ISIL has done since their creation as Islamic State many years ago, before even most of us even heard of them. Islamic State has been around for fucking years, okay? The Americans were the ones who started funding them. They never really created them, okay? People say they created them, I've said that as well. Islamic State was a terrorist organisation that got up to fight against, American government, basically. The aggressors to their land and to their territories and to their people. And that's why Islamic State became into existence in the first fucking place, thanks to American aggression and American fucking foreign policy. It doesn't even exist. Which it doesn't. America has no fucking foreign policy, none at all. And any of you American Marines that join my Facebook are watching this, well, you listen well, you know that anyway yourselves. They have no foreign policy. The foreign policy in that bloody Oval Office does not exist. If any of you guys have actually read it, well, whether you have or not, I don't know, but read it. You'll see for yourselves. I think the last time it came out was in March this year. That was the last one. Probably come out sometime around about the same time next year, no doubt. Anyway. Islamic State, that's why they started anyway. And then over the years, America's ambitions in the Middle East grew, as we all know. Things happen, you know. You know what America's like. A lot of countries, not just America, there's a lot, quite a few Western countries have meddled in the East's affairs, not just America, and in supplying weapons to the very people they end up fighting. Supplying weapons to the very people who end up massacring American soldiers. That ain't fucking nice, okay? I don't care who's watching this, how high up you are. That ain't fucking nice. You see, the thing about Americans, the British establishment are the same. When it comes to soldiers, they don't give a fuck. The Marines that are connected to my Facebook at the moment, I mean, these guys, fair enough. There's a lot of soldiers, not just the American Marines, the British soldiers, and French and German, and everyone else, and the Russians. I mean, I don't know how the Russians treat their soldiers. I don't know how the French treat theirs or the Germans treat theirs, but I know how the British treat theirs. And I know how the American government treats theirs also. And I'm not talking about while they're in the battlefield. While they're in the battlefield, they are well looked after. Right? The minute a soldier has to leave, an American soldier goes back home. That's it. They're washed up. They have nothing. Half of them end up in the streets. No families, nothing. Sweet Fanny Adams. And yet before they went, wife, kids, you name it. It's disgusting. The British government are just as fucking bad. Not quite, but not far off it. There are a lot of ex-soldiers homeless in this country at the moment here in the UK. Up and down the UK, not just here in Scotland, but in England too. I don't know about Wales or Ireland, but certainly in England and Scotland anyway. More than likely will be. But as far as the Islamic State is concerned, when they changed their name, I do not know. Whether it was them that changed their name or whether it was the American government that changed their name when they started training them. Which they did. Well, so I've got a video, and I've got Barack Obama on the video. A lot of people's probably seen this anyway elsewhere. He's at a press conference in the Oval Office, and he categorically states, no questions about it. And it's not a passing comment he makes either. He deliberately tells the reporters and the news media that the American government funded and trained ISIS. As they call themselves, ISIL now. Unless they want to change their name again, I don't know. Now, ISIL, as I was getting, to get back to the point, the comparison between ISIL and the Third Reich during World War II. They do. ISIL makes the Third Reich look like fucking Disneyland, okay, and everything that happened there. The things these guys are trained to do are bloody abhorrent. The reason I've been hearing people, not hearing them, what am I saying, reading their typed messages all over Facebook another media. I know that a lot of them, the same old things that comes out, you know. Why are all these young men come over in boats? Why don't they stay over there and fight? You wouldn't. You'd shite a brick. They're no match for ISIL, okay? You're no match for ISIL. If the American Marines went in to fight ISIL, that would be a fierce fight. I can tell you right now. It would be a very fierce fight. Only because they've got the best equipment, they've got the best training, they've got the best finances. The Western world. More than just one government. Quite a few governments in the Western world has been financing ISIS or ISIL. Now the reason these young men have fled with the women and with the children, a lot of them are husbands, okay? And that's why they've left with their wives and kids, which is understandable. Nothing wrong with that, okay? A lot of their wives and children have been drowned on the way here. Therefore you get, in some cases, a boat full of men because half the women fucking and children drowned on the way getting here in rough seas. None of these people are a match for ISIS or ISIL. ISIL, I could post videos, raw footage. I could post raw footage on Facebook of what ISIL does. Sure as hell it will get shoved off anyway. You don't want to see it. And I can't put it on Facebook anyway because there are children on Facebook. And if there are any children connected to my Facebook, there is no way I want them to see that. All I can do is tell you. These guys, they're burned, right? We know this. They're burned young men in cages on the streets, drag them out of their homes, stuck them in a cage, pour petrol over them, burn them live. In an orange jumpsuit. They always give them orange jumpsuit. I think this is getting back to the Guantanamo Bay days of Iraq, after Iraq, 9/11 and all that. I think that's why they put these jumpsuits on everyone. That was George W. Bush and his Guantanamo Bay disaster. Half the people that were in there were fucking innocent. Most of the world knows this anyway. He was another idiot. ISIL, they don't just burn young men, young adults. They burn children in the same manner, in the very same fashion. Drag them out of their homes, out of the hearts of their families. Stick a cage right outside their fucking door. Put them in, set them alight for the whole family to watch. This is Syria. We don't see that. Nobody here sees that on TV. Because the Zionist bastards that run this country won't show us. And their excuse is, it's too horrible to show. The truth is never too horrible to show. They're just hiding it because they don't want us to know. Not because it's too fucking horrible. It is too horrible really, but this is the reason they don't show us it. They don't want us to know what the fuck they're doing over there. Like years ago, they didn't want us to know that they were financing ISIL, Islamic State, as it was many years ago, before anybody had ever heard of That was only because America's empiristic needs grew in the Middle East over the years. The thing about America is, America doesn't have bases in any nation on earth to help the nation. That's their empire. That's part of America's fucking empire, okay? It is. It's like any empire. They continually build. They tell everyone, it's for your own good. No, it's for America's. It's not even for American people's own good, is it? Hell, what do American people ever get out of all this bullshit? Nothing. What have they ever had out of it? Nothing. The only thing they've ever had out of it is a few Americans going over there and getting their fucking heads decapitated by ISIL, who was trained and financed and armed. Even the knives probably are fucking American military, I'll bet. And it was all given to them by America. And the Western countries, which aren't going to be named. There are Western countries involved in this. And these countries, including the States, I'll rephrase that, the American government, the people behind the American government, right? These guys, they don't want anybody to know what they do, right? Fair enough. But when governments start paying vast sums of money and giving out high-grade training, military training, to groups of individuals to kill their own fucking citizens, now, wouldn't you say there's something far wrong with that government? No matter who that government is, no matter who the fuck's behind them. Whether it be the government in America, whether it be Britain or anywhere else in Europe. When a government starts paying fundamentalists like that to kill their own people, and that's exactly what they've been doing. The question is, are they still paying them? Are they still giving them equipment? We don't know. Who knows? Wouldn't put anything past them. ISIL burns children like that in cages. They crucify children. They crucify them. They cut their heads off very slowly. 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds. They put babies on the ground. Little babies about that size, days old or weeks old. They put them on the ground and they will step on the poor little sods. These are big brave ISIL men. Big brave fucking hard men, aren't you, ISIL, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. More baby killers. Trained by baby bombers. Financed by fucking baby bombers. The baby bombers of the Middle East. The American fucking government. The American fucking military. We all know that anyway. Murdering bastards, okay? The Marines are on here and they listen to this. That's too bad. This is the truth. I'm not going to hide the truth. Why should I? Why should anyone be afraid of the truth? Unless they themselves have something very much to hide. So, anybody watching this, who's got a clean conscience and who hasn't? The people who are going to watch this, or watching it right now. Huh? Some of these people that work for governments can never do the right thing. They don't even know what it means. They can't even spell right. They don't even know what common decency is. And there's a lot of people around the world in different governments like that. Not just here in the West. Look at some of your African nations. Look at the Philippines. Look at this bastard that runs the Philippines. Has anyone ever seen how Filipino people live? That is abhorrent. The way these poor people live in the Philippines. And that bastard. If I was a president, I wouldn't be a prime minister. If I was a president, yes, I would shake that bastard's hand because I wouldn't have any other option. There must be, there must be some country somewhere in the world that would prefer this man toppled. And I don't mean the nasty way, the American, Anglo-American British way, by interfering with the people and getting them to turn against their government. That's messy. Send in someone like SAS or Special Forces to take the bastard out. Do it quietly. It's not as if he's can. You are large governments. I mean, what is it they call it again? The military-industrial complex. If it's that fucking great, then I'm sure you guys can get a bunch of highly trained people. Go over there in the quiet and take that government out without injuring any civilians. This is what I mean. You guys, you always have to do it the horrible way, the nasty way, the way it kills innocents, maims, murders, soldiers that go over and rape and pillage villages. And that's what happens. It's happened over the years. As far as ISIS is concerned, they are the ugliest thing that's ever been put on this fucking earth. Things they have done, and probably still doing, obviously. Everyone's saying they're over there bombing. Oh sure, America said they were over there bombing ages ago before Russia went in. The only reason Russia went in was because America was not bombing them. America was bombing the Syrian people. America was bombing Syria's army. America was saying to the world that the Syrian army, Mr. Assad, had turned the Syrian army against his people. Who used the chemical weapons on the Syrian people? No cunt knows. Mr. Assad doesn't even know. The Syrian people, they don't know. Could it have been ISIS? It's a possibility, but it's rather fucking doubtful. So who the hell was it? We don't know. That remains open also for debate. But it turned out anyway that all this over Dominion. So it's over Dominion. The Syria nonsense. Nothing else but Dominion. It's not about oil. It's not about money. It's not about arms or anything. About making money. It's nothing to do with money. The people involved in this, in the background, don't give a shit about money. These are very nasty individuals, really. Really. Now these guys, they make ISIL look like fucking Donald Duck. And ISIL makes the Holocaust look like Mickey Mouse. That's them all put in perspective. All this about the Dominion. Nothing else. I could mention a certain mountain, a mountain range in Syria, Mount Hermon. You never hear that mentioned often, do you guys? No. Even the American military has never heard it mentioned much, maybe. It's a very important part of the world, Mount Hermon, for reasons going right away back. From before any of this existed, before Britain even existed, and obviously before Daft America existed. It's not that old, eh? You know something? America is like the youngest nation on earth. It's only a couple hundred years old. It thinks it can bully its way through civilizations that are thousands of years old. Here in the West, across the Middle East. Now they're sponsored ISO. Destroyed things that are priceless, not in monetary terms, but priceless to humanity. Only to make it look like that these guys were fulfilling man-made revelations in a book, in a Bible that no God ever wrote. The Syrian thing, this is going to continue until I suppose Putin does his job. And everything at the moment will depend on David Cameron, that wanker. What will happen once he deliberately sends his jets over? I mean, what was it last month? Way back last month, he gave them the green light to shoot down Russian aircraft. Now, not Assad in this country. It didn't even dawn on anybody when he said, "We're only in Iraq. We're only in Iraq." But I've just gave the RAF permission to shoot down Russian aircraft. Now, if they were only in Iraq, why would the RAF need permission to shoot down Russian aircraft? There wasn't any Russian aircraft in Iraq at the time. All they were doing was concentrating. They only had declared Russian airspace over Syria, Syrian territory, not Iraqi territory, okay? These guys, they tend to put their foot in all the time, but they don't care about that because they know Joe Public, the sheep. It never dawns on them anyway. And that is the reason why he gave them the green light to shoot down Russian aircraft if they needed to. Because they were already over Syria. And as accommodating as Mr. Putin is, of course, he still hasn't retaliated. He's allowed that. And he's also allowed the stupid little Predator drone, the UK, to go over there and whatever it was they're supposed to have done. They're supposed to have killed 2 terrorists in Syria. Now, why could they do that if we're not in Syria? Jesus. But the Syrian thing, it's nothing to do with money, nothing to do with oil. Get all that rubbish out of your heads. Don't let the media fill your heads with shit. This is what's been happening since Iraq. None of it was ever anything to do with fucking oil. Okay? Nothing. Not a thing. Not Iraq. Not Libya. Not Syria. and definitely not Afghanistan. But Afghanistan's the least of anyone's worries at the moment on a global scale. The most important part of the world is Mount Hermon, and this is where it's all centred, around that area. And Israel's had their eye on Mount Hermon for a very, very long time. In fact, I'll go as far to say is, Israel's just not about taking over Palestine. It wants to take even larger swathes of territory across Lebanon and across Syria. That's the intention. It always was, and it more than likely always will be. It's just the way things are, unfortunately. But these people that run the world, people that Rothschilds do all the strategic planning for, they've got a nasty, nasty philosophy. And it stretches further than one world government, believe me. The way they see it is, people should not be free. But us, I shouldn't be free to stand here and do this video. None of you should be free to sit in front of your computer screens and watch this video, or do anything else, or watch TV. Their philosophy is that people are basically there to do as they're told. This is true. It's a very complicated issue, an immensely complicated story that goes back a very long way. But in a nutshell, this new world order ever kicked off. All these rumours and counter rumours around the internet, you hear from conspiracy theorists talking about slavery and all the rest of it. They don't know how right they really are. They just don't. Everyone's going to wake up to a very nasty shock eventually when this all kicks in. It's eventually occurring at the moment. More and more freedoms are being taken away from everyone. And that includes American Marines and their families, by the way. That includes everybody. And it also includes puppets inside police uniforms. Because that's what they are. Okay. So, an army uniform, a navy uniform, air force, police uniforms, they're all there to intimidate. They're designed to look intimidating. These uniforms are designed so that you see them first. We see a soldier in the street, right, here in the UK, or over in the States, right, for any Marines that are watching this. You know this yourself anyway. The first thing you see is a uniform. The second thing you see is a person animating that uniform. And the only reason they're being paid and they're actually valued by your fucking government is because they're needed to animate that uniform, what is only an extension of that state. Doesn't matter whether it's American state or a British state or any other state. As far as any state is concerned, the people inside these uniforms are worthless. Police uniforms, just the same. The first thing you see, oh, police. You don't see the person. You see the person second. These uniforms are designed that way. designed for intimidation. So when a big policeman, big hairy police guy walks up to you, you know, and he's towering over you, whatever. The uniform, it's not the man inside. Most policemen in Britain are okay, right? They're brand new guys, brand new women. It's the uniform that does it, because that's how it's designed. It's designed to intimidate, and it bloody well does, with a lot of people. Most people these days. Especially things that been used over the years in this country. You know, mistakes with policemen with guns. Policemen with guns at airports here, policemen with guns at airports there over the years. And that's deliberate tactics by the UK government to scare the shit out of the people. Just to remind the people, basically. And they use terrorism as a fucking excuse. It's just to remind the people that where the power lies. And who's got the big guns, basically? The government. The only reason governments have to do this is because they're so damn fucking weak. And that is the truth. Anyone who is strong does not have to intimidate anybody. Anyone who is strong could walk up with a kindly smile. Hello, how are you? They could be nice to the people. They could be kind to the people. But no. They don't want to do that, do they? They want to intimidate. They want to frighten and petrify little children. Little girls getting patted down at fucking airports, both in America and in Britain, years ago. Check YouTube. Perfect place to find them. What's that all about? But then again, we know what the government in the UK's like. Pedo protectors, child killers, etc. Rest my case with those bastards, yeah. At the end of the day, but what I'm saying is right. And any of these policemen, or army men from many countries, as far as your governments are concerned, do not value you. You know that anyway, right? The British know that. In Britain, even British soldiers, obviously, the same as the general public, they are the general public anyway. It's just a frame of mind we're all put in. Oh, that's a policeman, he's not a general public. Yes, you bloody well are. Yes, you are. You're a general public animating an extension of state. And they prize that extension of the state very dearly. They do, the governments. The police in this country, in the UK, know perfectly well how undervalued they are. And I certainly know how undervalued the police are in this fucking country. It's ridiculous. Now, I can't talk for the rest of the police in other countries. I don't know, but I know in the UK, the police, especially here in Scotland, are so fucking demoralised, it's ridiculous. And in London, England, all over England, it's the same story. It's not as bad as up here in Scotland, but it will be. Once they have the one police force for the entirety of England. But of course, they've got plans to give London its special and little police force. How quaint. Now, here in Paisley, the town I'm in, here in Scotland, our police, I've actually spoken to our very nice police people, and they are very nice. A lot of people still think that they're going to intimidate you. Try speaking to a policeman in Scotland. Even ask them what time it is. Very nice people. Majority of them. Sure, everywhere in life you get an asshole, okay? You get that. But the Scottish police are very, very nice. And these guys have been treated so badly with this Police Scotland thing. It's ridiculous. And there's not a damn thing their senior officers could have done about it anyway, because it's above their heads. It's Parliament in England. All about cost cutting. But the police in Scotland and in England have my vote anytime. Above anyone else's. Because these guys have got a damn difficult job to do. And at the moment, with David Cameron, no his messing about and his cuts and everything else. I mean, sure, people here, the ordinary, well, we're all ordinary people. The police are ordinary people too, okay? I hate that state of mind that it put us in. People have got their ESA cut, their benefits cut for being ill, right? People dying in hospital beds have got letters told they can go to work 2 days later they died of cancer, okay? Things like that. But there's also other things. I mean, you get food banks, right? I mean, how long is it going to be before our police officers have to rely on fucking food banks to feed their kids? Eh? How long? The fire brigade, you don't hear about them these days. I'll have to speak to them actually and find out what they're thinking, how they're being treated. Not to mention ambulance crews. Well, no, they'll get a hell of a job. They're being beat up on a daily basis all around the country when they go to different jobs. The violence they face is deplorable. Only because they're trying to fucking help people. And they say Scotland is a tolerant society. You could have bloody well fooled me. It's okay saying that, saying things like that on TV and things like that. Oh, Scotland's a tolerant society. Tell that to your fucking ambulance crews. It's a joke. Bloody ridiculous. David Cameron, but we have to get rid of him. Before 2020, well before 2020, we've got 5 years, less than 5 years now, say 4 years, okay, because this is November 2015. But there's not many people willing to get off their fucking lazy arse and do anything. Yeah, that's the truth. There's no point in anyone being grumpy about that remark, because it is the truth. Not us all in this country's got the fucking brain power. Anyone has, let's see it. People wonder why I print something down in these videos. God knows. Nobody wonder. But this, I mean, David Cameron, he is on his road out at the moment. The man is too thick and too stupid and too egotistical, one might say, to even notice it. But guess what, David? Bye! You fucker. You're going. You're leaving your job to get another job somewhere fucking else, out of harm's way, basically. And you're digging your hole right now. And the more you dig, the deeper it gets. And the bigger the smile will appear on my face. We cannot put up with this. I mean, austerity, right, fair enough. The banks made an arse of it, okay? And we're the ones that's got to pick up the tab. Why? People reckon that, oh, it's a terrible thing. Oh gosh, dearie me, this is terrible. Oh, we've seen a few protests a good few years ago. Yeah, big deal. Who cares? What happened out of it? Fuck all. Usual shite in this country, isn't it? Usual bullshit. Uh, we're going to get rid of him though. He's going to be looking for another job. I'm going to give him to the summer next year, okay? To get another job.